Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a Thursday lunchtime live stream from here in my Moscow kitchen. Well, it's actually my Moscow room now. I used to actually have the desk in the other room and do the lives from there. So, yeah, hope everybody's doing well. I thought just for a little bit of fun, I'd try something a little bit different and do the live stream earlier just for today, just to see how it goes. I'm either going to be talking to myself or I'm going to be talking to thousands of people. So if you are here in the live stream, let me know. And I'll be very curious how many people are watching live or perhaps watching on a replay. So if you're watching on a replay, maybe post in the comment under the video, I guess either while you're watching it or afterwards, and at least I'll know then if it's a more suitable time or not. Now, what's going to throw me off a little bit is I've decided to stream this to 2 YouTube channels, and I'm just curious if there'll be anybody watching on the second channel, which is kind of a secret channel, if you like, but it's not that secret. So the other reason to doing it a little bit earlier is to try to better reach viewers in Australia, in New Zealand, in Europe. Now, of course, this is during the day on a working day, so perhaps people are at work or they finish work, depending on where you are in the world. So this might be a little bit interesting. So yeah, the only thing now that's going to be a bit awkward is I've decided to put a couple of different pop-ups on my other screen, which is on this side in reality, but it's on this side where I'm actually looking because the camera mirrors. So I was actually trying to put the pop-out chat for the second channel so I can see if anybody posts a comment there, because I'm not too sure if I see the chat from both channels on one screen. So, and also if it sounds a little bit echoey, right before the live stream started, I've got the windows open in the lounge room and the balcony, letting some fresh air in because it's been hot for the last week here. And then for some reason, their local administration are downstairs grinding out some of the road. I guess they're trying to fix a pothole. So they've got the big disc grinder that cuts the bitumen literally downstairs from where I live. So I just went and closed the window. So I think it's made it more echoey in here. Also, I've tidied the background. Oh, maybe not, because the blanket is still there. I thought I tidied the background a little so that there was less things in the background, and maybe it's made it more echoey because I took away some things from the room. So very interesting. So yeah, hello everybody. There's a few people who have said hello already. Andre says hi. Zdravstvuyte. Hello. Noel from New Zealand. Wow, all the way in New Zealand. Hello. I did mention it. If you did happen to watch the Patriot Pons video from a couple of videos ago on the channel, I met a New Zealand couple while I was filming, and the lady, or I think the lady was Russian, but her husband was from New Zealand. And she came up to me very randomly. And when I watched back the video when I was editing it, she literally just came through the street and came up to me and then waited till I kind of took a pause in filming and introduced herself. And literally, I don't know how she kind of realized maybe that I was either Australian, I guess because I was speaking English, but her husband from New Zealand, he was here visiting, or they were both here visiting, which is kind of cool. Where is Russ? I'm here. I'd actually just gone to close the windows on the balcony in case this grinding was going to be too noisy through the microphone. So yeah, Austin, hello. Ruslan, hello. Oh, Ruslan is my name in Russian. Well, also it's kind of Ruslan, and well, the female version is Ruslana. Ruslan is the Russian Russell, if that makes sense. So yeah, if there's a few people watching, that's really cool. If there's literally nobody watching, it's still cool anyway. It'll just be interesting. On the second channel, there's only 78 subscribers who have found that channel. I think 78 or 79. So I've got the little tiny pop-up on a tiny little box on the second screen that I can look at if somehow there's chat there versus chat in the normal chat. I'm confusing everybody. Miles from Australia. I'm in Sydney, however, I'll be in Moscow in September. Let's catch up. We can try to catch up, absolutely. If you're somewhere in Moscow, maybe you're coming to stay with family or your significant other. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Telegram, so if you want to reach out to me on Telegram, that would be nice. It's just a matter of the dates and the time and the place and the day and, of course, everything like that. But if you might want a tiny walking tour of Moscow, I'm always good at doing those. Authentic gameplay. Hello. How's it going? I'm doing very well. Ruslan is in Russia. Yeah, let me know where you're from and maybe what time it is so I can kind of get a bit of a judge of how many people are watching. I don't expect thousands to watch. I think my record is really only about 100 or so people watching a live stream. I just don't know what the deal is. I guess I need to have bad news or I need to talk about some controversial topic for more people to be here in the live stream. So I'm sorry if it's not that you're getting when you're watching live streams. Savi, hello. Hello. 3 hellos. From Australia, but currently living in China. Wow. Yeah, so when we flew to Bali, I guess maybe people watched a few of the Bali videos. We flew to Guangzhou. We had China Southern Airlines and flew Moscow to Guangzhou and then Guangzhou to Denpasar. And we were there for a few hours. Airport was really nice. It was probably even more than we expected. It was a huge airport. We had a lot of people telling us it's not great airline, it's not going to be great, everything is not going to be good, and it was really better than we really expected. Andrei Zarasvati, hello. Hello, my neighbor from Moscow. Yes, well, I'm in Moscow region. I'm in Aprelivka, which is the last station on the D4 line. So if you're from Moscow, I have no idea where Aprelivka is, have a look at the Moscow metro map and have a look at the D1, 2, 3, 4 train lines and go to the last station on the D4. We're very close to Vnukovo Airport. That's another way to look at it. I got lost in Moscow City yesterday. I should have watched your video about it. Oh, wow. It's really, well, I guess you could get lost quite easily because of the way the roads are, and then they limit the traffic that comes into that center area of Moscow City. You can definitely walk down the wrong street and end up down the wrong street. And even going in through the shopping center, or when you come out from the metro there at Belovoy Center, it's a crazy metro station, Belovoy Center, because there's so many exits to come out from that you tend to always come out the wrong one and end up not near where you want to go to. So I figured it out pretty well there because I go to the conventions at the Expo Center a lot. In your Moscow kitchen, yes, not quite the kitchen, but I'm now in the Moscow, I guess it's the Moscow bedroom now. I've been, is it demoted or promoted? For me in my Istanbul kitchen, it's a scorcher here, 36. I can't stay too long. Have to take the ferry to Asian side shortly. Wow, cool. That would be cool. Yeah, it's about, well, today it's actually very cloudy and overcast, and they said it might rain this afternoon, but it's been roasting hot all week. Pretty much since we came back from Bali. I'm actually here at home alone for a couple of days. My wife went to visit a friend a few hundred kilometers south of Moscow. So it's just me for a couple of days here, living the bachelor life and eating takeaway food. I actually had takeaway salad. There is one little kitchen style cafe couple of buildings away from us that we've discovered, and she makes a really good Caesar salad. So I went and got that yesterday afternoon and had it in the fridge for lunch today. So hello, can't quite read your name. Let me do this one to check it out. Chronicles of Tomorrow's Bottom. That's interesting. Hello. I'm just listening, not watching. Steve, no worries. No worries. Have me on in the background. Hopefully, I don't put you to sleep. And we follow along with the chat. We talk about a couple of the videos. Where's your wife? Yes, Austin. She's visiting a friend or at her friend's dacha, which is a country house, which a lot of people like to do on the weekends. Her friend actually is staying there for quite a few weeks. And my wife took the train there 2 days ago, and she's going to come back Saturday. She wanted to come back tomorrow. She's not sure yet. She'll either come back tomorrow or Saturday. I talked to her this morning on the phone, so she said it's very hot there as well. And she's still enjoying it though, so that's pretty cool for her. So do you like borscht? Yes, I do like borscht. Probably not now while it's roasting hot, warm. My wife loves making soups. Any types of soups are good. It's pretty much my wife's favorite thing to cook are soups. When are you traveling to Siberia? No immediate plans to come to Siberia. So pretty much I need to bog down now and do some videos and get the channel back out of the ditch from when I was in Bali, because a lot of people stopped watching. A lot of people unsubscribed. So yeah. Thank you so much, Brian, for the super sticker. That's really very nice of you. For TRYs. I wonder what TRYs are without me looking them up. Thank you so much. How's it going? I'm doing well. I thought about doing this lunchtime live stream actually kind of a long time ago, and then I keep putting it off and putting it off. And I'm the worst at scheduling live streams. That's my worst thing, is scheduling. I think if I scheduled it, people would be ready for it and would want to watch it, and there'd be more people here live, and it would work out even better. But I'm okay with the way it is. I'm also streaming, so this is obviously the first channel. Then the second channel has got 70 something subscribers, and I decided just to click the button to let it live stream to both channels. So it might be interesting to see if anybody catches it over there. By the way, if anybody else wants to support the channel, just like Brian has done, super chats and super stickers are more than welcome. If you do a super chat, you can put a comment there. And if you put a question mark as in asking a question, other people can actually reply to it. And on super chats, people can also put a thumbs up on the super chats as well. Yeah, if you aren't somewhere that's got that super chat option, there is also donation alerts, which is pretty much for everybody in the world, including people in Russia. So I've used it successfully on the channel before. I've got the chat box open. So I've actually got the second channel box open, the donation alerts chat box open, and then the normal statistics over here. So yeah, there's quite a few boxes open today. But that's the whole point of this little computer setup I've got, that I can do many things at once, and it's very easy and comfortable to do it. Yeah, so thank you, Brian. I'm not sure what TRYs are. I'm not going to Google it. I'll just let it be. So yes, from St. Joseph's, Michigan, in the southwest corner of the state, on the shores of Lake Michigan. Do I have to do this? Is it this way? Isn't it always like when you ask somebody where they live in Michigan, you put your hand up and then you point to which part of the hand it is where you live. 6:30 in the morning in Michigan. Actually, I just realized too that the first round of the British Open golf started, and I'm so used to watching American golf, which will be later in the evenings. When I watch golf, I like to watch a lot of sports when I can. I realized that obviously the fact that it's the British Open 2 hours earlier, so the actual round is already underway now. So I've been to Detroit briefly. I went to Great Lakes Crossing Shopping Mall, and that was pretty much it. I spent 2 days there with somebody I met on the cruise ships. I won't be able to watch since I'm going to work. No worries, Joey. I'm sorry. I think lots of people are in the work schedule. I guess people are going to work, home from work. I've just jumped over the chat here. Sorry. Well, Andre's in Nizhny Novgorod right now. Nice. or Nizhny. They just call it Nizhny, don't they? Oh, marrying my long-time girlfriend from Taganskaya, Moscow in October. I have been to Moscow a few times and we'll be moving there. Will be good to shout you dinner. Oh, thank you. Fridays is my favorite. Is my partner's favorite Friday. Oh, TGI Fridays, or Fridays now they call it, right? There's a couple of them. There's one at Avia Park Shopping Center too, which is the biggest shopping center in Europe, as I always say on my video. If you're talking about Fridays, or TGI Fridays, I think, unless it's another place with a Russian name. Wow, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, if we can catch up somewhere, I'll go for a beer. Oh, my place to go to is the Bull. It's the place where the whole menu is for 250 rubles. It's called the Bull. I like it because it's actually a nice meeting place for people. There's no real, everyone can choose something from the menu. It's not a particular place where you have to, be a little bit fancy about it. Oh, you're using the D4 every day. Goshelapisha station is closed. Oh, yeah. Oops, excuse me. So yeah, if you catch it the other direction, Prelivka is actually, it's kind of cool because every station that you catch the D4 kind of to or from, there's obviously one side that's the to Prelivka side, and the second side is the Zhelnynarodnaya side. So, excuse me a second. Oh, did I sneeze off screen? I hope I did. Well, let me just use my, I've got two fancy cloths. Yeah, I didn't realize I've got two cloths. What's your favorite thing or things about Moscow? Oh, catching the public transport, going in the metro, going on the electric river tram. That's very cool. I've done that a few times. I like going to expos, these different expos that they host. Actually, a lot of stuff that I like doing is what I show in the videos. And that's what I kind of like doing. I probably don't show enough of some things and more of others, but would you recommend shawarma? I can't figure out what to eat for lunch. Yes. Well, shawarma is a very traditional Russian, typical fast food. I actually had shawarma, not yesterday, the day before, because my wife's not here, and I'm not particularly a cook or a chef. The shawarmas are everywhere. There's a million shawarma places. So I guess if you've not had one, or you're having your first one, then you're going to have to then judge everyone after that against the first one. Is it better or worse? I think they had some food poisoning. I saw one news story about somewhere in the north of Moscow. It happens about every 6 months. There's a place that people get a little bit sick from eating street food, which is the same as having street food anywhere in the world, right? But yeah, the one I went to was a couple of streets, a couple of buildings away from where I live. It's nice, but not amazing. That's the thing with shawarma. Excuse me. Wow. Won't be able to. Oh, thank you. Oh, love borscht. My Ruski Maz is the best. Or my Russian mother, or mama, or babushka, dedushka. Hello from Finland. Hello. Riku Uzliane. Wow. That's a bit of a tricky name to say. Brian, see you later. Thank you. I like the latest video. Will you continue your journey to cultural places? I will do my best, Anatoly. The next video will be the Parade of Trams video. I'm not sure if I'll get it on the channel today. Probably tomorrow. Let's see. Today or tomorrow. I went to the Parade of Trams on the weekend. Kind of did 3 things in 3 days. And that's kind of the last couple of videos in a row. So that's my next video. If you're excited for what the next video is, or it's, I enjoy going to these places and seeing things and going for walks like this. So that's why they seem always happy in the videos. I hope YouTube doesn't quit Russia. Yes. Well, that's been a bit of a talking thing for quite a lot of years. So yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere, but who am I to know these things and understand how things work? I don't know. Oh, thanks. I got the map correct. Oh, thank you, Miles. Yes, we can somehow meet up. Safety Bay and Anapa. William, hello. How's it going? I really hope that you can connect with the Plastic Russian. And when you go to Anapa, you can somehow meet up with him. That would be kind of fun if you did. Such a nice, normal guy. Obviously British, not Australian, of course, but if you've got a chance and you cross paths, that would be really amazing. Do you suffer? It is very high pollen. I don't suffer from hay fever, although I just sneezed. It's nothing to do with the hay fever. I've not really been out the house for 2 days. While my wife's not here, I make use of being a bachelor at home and lounge around. I went out to get food a couple of times. But no, I don't suffer from hay fever. I don't really sneeze. Well, that's just a bit of an unlucky sneeze during the video. So, Andre, no worries. Thank you for joining the live stream or being here during the day versus in the evenings. Yeah, I'm not a person that's got hay fever at all or anything like that. Or get affected by pretty much it's mostly in well, we'll be in autumn time. I don't know. I mean, I guess now it's really the height of summer, so better move to Australia. Well, that's a good idea. Or move back to Australia, I guess. I always wonder what will really happen to the channel if I don't make videos in Russia. Will it kind of completely collapse? Will people just not watch? I just don't know. I would really love to try to make more Bali videos. Obviously, I need to go to Bali to do that, and make more travel-related things like hotel reviews or little resort reviews or how-to videos. That's something I'd like to do. Oh, you'll meet at Plastic Russia at the end of the year. Nice. Actually, Sam from Sam's Russian Adventures and well, I guess the end of the year will be Christmas or winter, right? Well, winter in Anapa. We have this idea of, or Sam has this idea of doing a road trip down there. It's about 1,200 kilometers from Vladimir to Anapa, basically going through Moscow and then south again. So I wonder if that'll come about or not. I'm going to go back to visit Sam soon and maybe go for more than 2 days, maybe go for a few days. See if we can figure out making some more videos together. Watching from Leeds in the UK. My auntie and uncle came to meet us in Bali, and they're at the very end of the souvenir shop video, my auntie and uncle. If you watch the last 3 or 4 minutes of that video, my auntie and uncle are from Leeds, Bradford. Well, I think, where do they live? Hetman Wyke, Dewsbury, this area. I can't remember the exact town they live in that area of Yorkshire or West Yorkshire. Thank you, Andrew. What is your opinion and what do they think? I do communicate with people mostly on Telegram. There's a couple of Australians in Russia Telegram groups. In person, I've met a few different people. But is their opinion and what do they think? I guess what's their opinion about what? About Russia? I guess the thing with people that you meet who are expats in Russia understand Russia. Well, we all think we do. Maybe we don't exactly understand everything, but we understand about living here and what it's like and the expectations of living here. So I guess we don't really talk about that a lot when we talk in person, or when I've met other Australians. We talk about football and sport, and I guess we talk a little bit about some of the differences between Russia and Australia. Or for me, I'm more curious about what their story is about how they came to Russia, and how is it similar to my story, if that's such a thing. Let me know the time. Oh, when we would come to Anapa, you mean? Well, I guess it wouldn't be probably October, November, December because of the winter, unless Sam would want to do that drive in winter. I'm not sure about that. When I met Sam for those couple of days, I made that one video with him, and he had me in a little briefly in a couple of his videos. We talked about a million different things about go here, do this, do that, go here. I live the train I caught to Vladimir from a Prelivka was actually the one train per day that starts in a Prelivka and ends in Vladimir at 6:30 in the morning every morning. There's one train that's a 5-hour trip that you don't have to change trains to go there. I mean, if I went there by a train to Moscow and then express, it'd be about 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I want to go back and meet up with him and spend a few more days and just be a bit slower and not rush around everywhere like we did. So do you live with the Aussie Cossack? I don't know. He's married now. I met him actually in Moscow about 3 months ago. He was getting married. Was he getting married before or after that when I met him? I can't remember now. I didn't know him at the time, right? So if you're talking about the Aussie Cossack, yeah, this is the guy. No, Aussie Spy. Is this the same guy we're talking about? I think it is. Man, I'm mixing up all of it because there's Aussie Spy YouTube channel, Aussie Cossack. There's a few different Aussie channels. I guess his wife and family are in the other side of Moscow from where I live. A good, probably 2 hours away by public transport. Andrew will be in Sydney. You've been to Sydney twice. And you'll be in Perth in January. January is the hottest time of the year for your 50th birthday. Absolute summertime in January. So I hope you have some sunscreen. It's going to be nice and warm for sure when you go there in January. So hopefully you can brave the hot weather because it just gets hot and you just burn with warm weather. Wow, 29 people watching, and we've actually got 36 thumbs up or likes. So thank you so much for anybody that's done that or are here live watching. I hope you are enjoying Thursday wherever you are in the world. 1:47 p.m. here. It's a bit weird now that I've closed the windows. I was just a bit worried about the sound outside. I've had the windows open for round the clock, literally, even at nighttime, because it's about, what's today's weather? It says it's 26. It definitely feels warmer. 28. There we go. It definitely feels warmer. It's 28 and feels like 30 outside. And it says it's going to rain at 4 p.m. Let's have a look at the map. If anyone doesn't know the map of Moscow, that's the big circles right there, or the garden ring, the garden ring, third ring, Makad, and I'm in the southwest of Moscow, right there. If we zoom back, where's the clouds? So there's the rain. It's a fair way away. You can see little umbrellas when people say that it's raining. They put umbrellas. So yeah, there's rain coming at 4 o'clock, it says. Is that right? Yeah, crazy rain. Well, not crazy raining, but the whole of Moscow will be at 3:50 p.m. Plenty of rain coming. I'm just going to say it's not raining now because I like to help out the weather app. So yeah, please post in the comments. I'm not sure, is everybody a little bit quiet or not? Hello in Brisbane. Alice, hello. We got people from Australia because of the time difference, and it basically works out nicer for everyone in Australia, New Zealand. I guess morning time in America. I guess it's still lunchtime in Europe with 2 hours or 3 hours time difference. How do you feel about going mushroom picking? I've never done that before. I want to go strawberry picking. I found a place where you can go strawberry picking. I talked about it briefly in the last live stream. The only thing is, so basically, it's actually a private company which invites people to come and pick the strawberries for them for free. But you get to keep 10% of your pickings, if that makes sense. So if you pick 30 kilos, you get to keep 3 kilos of strawberries. The only thing is, so you can only go there at a meeting point between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. In the morning. And it's on the other side of Moscow from where I live. And then they pick you up in a bus and take you there to the fields, and you can pick strawberries. So yeah, I've never done mushroom picking. I know that people do it everywhere. You can see cars pulled over on the side of roads and people going, even on the bus from here to Moscow, people get off at the different stops. And I'm sure that they're going picking in the forest, or they're going for walks in the forest. Even in a couple of parks that I've been to, you see people just wandering off the paths, and they've got like a little carrier bag of, I guess, mushrooms that they've found. I would never know what to pick. I'd be probably picking all the poisonous ones. So yeah, I think my wife would really like it. I don't know if she's done it before or not. I'm always asking my wife if she wants to do this. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do this? So we've got some mushrooms. Actually, I want to do garlic mushrooms in our air fryer or air fryer. I bought mushrooms yesterday with the intention of making garlic mushrooms. And then I asked my wife the secret recipe for garlic mushrooms. I guess I could have just watched a YouTube video. And they said, you need mayonnaise, and we don't have mayonnaise in the fridge. Imagine every Russian uses how many kilos of mayonnaise per week, and we don't have any in the fridge. So I need to go out and buy a little, it's a squeezy tube of mayonnaise, so I can do garlic mushrooms for snack later, a snack. I was going to tempt myself with having pizza tonight and watch the golf and have some pizza. I'm not overly creative with food. Alice says she'd rather pick them in the supermarket. It's a big thing in Russia, Alice. It's a big deal for people to go mushroom picking. Obviously, we've not had a lot of rain in Moscow. It kind of, especially in the last 2 weeks, I don't know. Hopefully it'll rain more, but you need rain for mushrooms, right? I think you do. How do you like the idea of, okay. Hello from Kenya. What is Nora's Ticks? Hello in Kenya to you. Don't know much about Kenya, apart from the fact they've got a lot of good runners, long distance runners, that will probably feature heavily in the Olympics coming up. Someone mentioned that I did the smiley faces, or these, what's it called? The brackets on some of my comment replies on my YouTube videos, and said it's a very Russian thing to do that. And I guess I picked it up. Pierre, my wife hasn't yet agreed. I did tell her when I spoke, because she's at the dacha today, right? She's been there for a couple of days. She's going to be a couple more days. When you go to a dacha, it inspires you to want to do more things, like get your own dacha or get some land or buy a dacha, and and it inspires you to do that. And I went to a couple of these. I went to this house village. This was the last weekend with Yuri, and we filmed those couple of tiny house videos there. There was actually about 30 or 40 houses there, kind of kit homes or log homes or prefabricated homes, mostly dacha style, but very modern, like very not the build it yourself style. Yeah, it was a pretty cool place to go to. I did want to film a video about the whole thing, but then I just couldn't figure out how to talk about it on a video. That's why we just did the 2 separate smaller videos. He also did quite a lot of shorts, because he has a YouTube channel as well. So Ralph, I've got a wife, I'm married, so unfortunately I don't have anything to prove to you other than that. But I guess if you watch my wife in the videos, you'll understand. I know my mom would eat them. Yes, I know it's a big thing. Very cold. My hometown of Perth, I guess. Pavla Middleton. Hello. Yeah, my mum and dad. Well, we met them in Bali. This is now, well, it'll be a month ago, more than a month ago. We're in Bali now. Well, we came back last week, but we were with my parents 4 weeks ago now. Mum said the same thing, that it's cold. She wishes she's back in Bali. They really should have stayed longer. They're going to try to look for some cheap flights and go back again. So, big love from Far FNQ, Far North Queensland. It's the end of the world as we know it. Is that your channel? And then the fact that you live in Far North Queensland? I wonder if that's a tie-in to your channel or not. Robert, hello. Wow, lots of new people here as well. I guess with the time difference, it basically brings a new audience to the live stream. So thank you so much. And thank you also to Brian for the super sticker. And if anybody else would like to support the channel, you're more than welcome. Pretty much everything goes back into the channel, no matter how it works out. So actually buying the new microphone. Here's the other microphone. I bought a second microphone. Actually, I bought it in Australia, and then I had my mum and dad bring things from Australia to Bali for me. So that's pretty much where the YouTube thing sets. It's kind of like where Mr. Beast talks about putting money back into making more videos. It's the same thing like that, but it's probably on a tiny, tiny scale. Robert, hello. I've got residency in Australia. In Russia. I've got Russian residency. I've got a visa in my Australian passport. I don't know if I'll end up getting citizenship here. I guess I could take that option of doing it. Be a couple of years away from doing that if I wanted to. There isn't really any big advantages, I guess, because of the fact that both of my wife and I, she has her own small business. I work doing YouTube. So because I don't work and have a job and use any of the social services here, there's probably not a huge advantage to having citizenship. I guess it would help if something was to happen. I don't know. How cold is it in Perth? Let's see. Perth weather now. Let's have a look. If you're talking about that hometown, it is 13 Celsius. Thursday's maximum was 15, and minimum tonight will be 9 Celsius. And right now it's 13. Was it 7 p.m.? And it's 13. It feels like 11. And it says is it cloudy? I think mostly cloudy. When I worked on cruise ships, this whole mostly cloudy thing. So there was a thing that the captain used to always say. He used to say, like, it's mostly cloudy and partly sunny. And then we'd sort of say, well, why don't you say it's partly cloudy and mostly sunny? Like the other way around. And it kind of got everybody thinking a lot, like, is it partly cloudy or is it mostly cloudy? Is it partly sunny? It's mostly sunny. So, yeah. 7 degrees in Brisbane. Oh, even colder. And that's further north than it is in Perth as well. Wow, I can't even type. Oops, now it wants to find that I'm there. Tomorrow's weather in Brisbane, well, I'm doing Brisbane, but 21 degrees. Perth weather tomorrow, 17 degrees. And what's Moscow going to be tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be 20. It's cooling down tomorrow. Today's 28 maximum, it says. And then tomorrow's 25. That's the weather gone Google. Tends to be a little bit off, that weather. So Plexus wants to know what I think about the world's situation right now. I don't really have any comments about it. I don't talk about it in any of my live streams. I don't talk about it in any of the videos. A lot of YouTubers are like this, right? I mean, they're either extremely talkative about topics or they don't talk about anything at all, right? And no matter how big or small the YouTuber is, they're very neutral in their videos because the video is about a topic and that's it. You know, it's not to kind of basically voice your opinion about everything in a video that's not about that topic. I hope that makes sense. So like where I went to the car rally, I was trying to get the right name for that video, by the way. I was calling it a car rally. And when I went by the afternoon, the car rally had finished. All the cars were parked up. But they did actually have a rally around Moscow. And then they had the finishing line was at the Sparrow Hill, or Vorovy is the place name. But the whole video is not, it's about going to see the cars and walking around the park, and that's it. So I don't really voice opinions about politics, although it's a Q&A video. I understand that, you know, it's right. Thank you, Alice. Yes, leave politics out of it. Yes. The Westerlies. Yeah, in Perth we call it the Fremantle Doctor. So pretty much only people in WA know that, I think, that the afternoon sea breeze is called the Doctor. And that's what makes it much colder. Tell me about Australia. I have many friends from this continent that say that. But they didn't see kangaroos anywhere, and that they, let me just read that again. But they didn't see kangaroos everywhere and huge spiders. Yes, so most, 80% or is it 80 or 90% of the population live on the coastal regions of Australia. So their entire coastal region. Obviously, the majority of the population live on the east coast. So from where we talked about far north Queensland all the way down to Melbourne and then Tasmania, and then Victoria, Adelaide, and over to Perth. Most people don't see kangaroos because they tend to not be in the city areas. Even in Perth, where I live, well, where we were living, we were in a kind of a semi-rural area. We were only 50 k's from the city. It was still the suburbs of Perth. You wouldn't see kangaroos. You could maybe occasionally see one if I drove some of the back roads to go to work. You would far easily see them if you go to the zoo or a wildlife sanctuary or like a native animal zoo. They've got a couple of them in Perth. Huge spiders you don't want to see. So it's not a matter of going looking for them. You don't want to see them. Austin wants to know what I think about Mr. Trump. I think he's very polarizing. I think a lot of people love and hate him at the same time, or do one or the other. Obviously, in America, people have a lot stronger political views about the candidates in their election. And there's people that are very, very strongly minded about one side or the other side of politics. In Australia, it's not really as big a thing. You know, pretty much only we have the federal election every 4 years. And maybe is it 2 years, 4 years? Pretty much outside of that, we don't talk about it. It's only really the weeks leading up to the election. When the election's finished, and that's it then. They get on with whatever they got to do. And the election rolls around a few years later and back on it again. No kangaroos in the backyards, right? Huntsman spiders, yeah, they're the ones you don't want to see. In WA, we don't really have huntsmans. We've got redback spiders, which are a little bit much, much smaller and just as deadly. So in Russian, it's pretty dangerous to live in here. I'm trying to understand. Pretty dangerous to live in here. So, I mean, I don't know what the dangerous part about living here is. mean, I live in a small town 50 kilometers from Moscow. I live in Moscow region. Um, I don't really see any danger. I'm not sure what the danger is in Russia generally. Um, I think it's very family friendly. It's very people orientated. People are very friendly. People just get on with life. People don't really worry about everything else going on in the world or even in the same town where we live. Um, so I don't know where the danger is, Plexus. It is correct to say Vorovy Vagora. It is a name in honor of a person's surname, not the name of a bird. Yes, Sergey, in that video, if you watched it, I said Sparrow Hill a lot because it's then easier for the translation of where I was. I didn't actually do the translating the, what do you call that? The Google creates I don't know, all of the translated words that I've said in the video. And I decided for this video and the previous one that I was going to not do it and see if it makes a difference to the views. And it hasn't made any difference. So I didn't say Vorovy Vagore, even though I was there in the video, right? And really the grounds of the university where I was. And I said Sparrow Hill a few times. I know it's not correct. I understand that totally. And I should really say the Russian place names in videos. So yeah. Have you seen any crocodiles? I have never seen them. I've only seen them at the zoo. That's it. I've never seen them anywhere. I mean, actually, whoever said they were from far north Queensland probably has the best chance of seeing them literally. Most of us would do anything to leave this country. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got a passport, you can buy a ticket and fly somewhere, and it's your choice where you live. I mean, the cost of a ticket somewhere is not probably as expensive as people keep thinking it is to leave or come to Russia. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess you're putting words in my mouth here by typing things like this. Thank you, Alex. Yes. I don't think, I mean, where I live here, I mean, I know where the fire station is, the hospital, the school, the police station. I know where all the amenities are of our small town. I mean, I know, at the end of the day, if you're doing something wrong, then you're going to have a problem with somebody, right? But if you're not, that's it. Live your life. Yeah, the crocodiles I've never seen. I've seen where people go on those boat trips and then they feed like the chickens to the crocodiles where they come out of the water and stuff like that. But I've never seen that. They don't do that in WA unless there's somewhere up north that they do it. What is your topic today? Chantel is not really a topic. That's why I copied the title from somebody else's live stream title. And pretty much I'm just talking generally about right now about the last couple of videos on the channel, about my trip to Bali. In Ellenbrook. Rob, hello. In Ellenbrook, WA. Lots of Australians in the live stream today, although it's only a small amount of people. I really appreciate people's taking the time to be live here with me. I even put a clean shirt on as well. I always find because it's dark in the room, I don't want to have my dark shirt on, so I went and grabbed another one specially. So Chantel, there is no topic, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Unless you want to put a topic in a question and we could figure something out to talk about. For crocodiles, visit South Florida. Yes. They've got alligators there, though, haven't they? Not crocodiles. Alligators in Florida. I don't know where I've even seen alligators. Have I even seen them when I was on the cruise ships? I don't think I've even seen one. unless there was some in the zoo in Australia and I saw them there. I just don't remember. We went to in Perth, we've got Mindari Keys, and then there's an aquarium there, the Aquarium of WA, I think it's called. But they've got basically marine life there. I think they've got crocodiles. I have permanent residency, Eric. In my, I don't have my passport here. My passport's in my bag. I carry my passport everywhere with me, by the way. I have it in a sealed, like plastic, Ziploc kind of style plastic thing that I put in my side pocket of my bag that I carry when I go out. So yeah, I'm not a Russian citizen. I'm an Australian passport holder with a Russian residency visa or permit. I guess it's called a visa. Being that I'm married to a Russian, I have that residency permit. You're lying on a beach on the Gold Coast. What? Sounds very nice. Everybody's dream, right? I was going to convince myself I'm not going by the law, but by fear of the authorities from above. No one is safe. Well, fair enough. Nobody is safe. Mosquarium and also sea crocodile. Oh, right. Somebody told me, somebody that I know's girlfriend works there or wife works there. Somebody I know's wife works at the Mosquarium. This is actually the aquarium at Vedenha you're talking about, Anatoly. And I've never been there. I know the place very well. I've been to Vedenha how many times? But I've never been to the aquarium there, or Mosquarium, they call it. I always make a bit of a joke when I do the supermarket videos and where they've got the aquarium with the live fish in the fish and seafood section. I always call that the Mosquarium. I definitely should go there at some point. Not even been to Moscow Zoo. I walked past the zoo the other day, believe it or not, when I was leaving from Patriot Ponds, that place where I walk around the pond and then down the street with all the women and everything and ladies. I basically Googled which was the nearest metro station. I think I went to the furthest one, but I walked past the Moscow Zoo to get to, I forgot the name of the station. The metro station near Moscow Zoo. Anyway, I walked past the entrance. And I know the area vaguely, so I actually went to a supermarket to get a couple of drinks to take with me I caught the Metro 1 station from there, and then I took the D4 train to Aprelivka so I could sit on the train in comfort and air conditioning, and I was exhausted by then because I'd been to 2 places for that same day. So I did the tram parade, which will be the next video, and then afterwards I went to Patriot Ponds in the afternoon, which I should have really not done 2 things in one day, but it worked out okay. So try Darwin for crocodiles. Yeah, I've never been to Darwin. I know you've worked up there and been up there. Yeah, I just can't picture Darwin after living. Okay, Perth is the only city I've been to. Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, briefly. I just can't picture Darwin as a place, comparing it to other Australian cities. Rosie, pizza, yes. Salute it Italia. I was going to have pizza last night for dinner, and then I didn't have pizza last night because I've got to walk the other direction to the pizza place. This pizza place that's in the next building from me, well, 2 buildings away, is this it's a 24-hour pizza place. It's not amazing pizza, but if you only have it once every month, maybe, it's really, really good. And they do a tuna pizza. They do a tuna, and it's a tuna pizza. It's very interesting, but it's very nice. And it's got it's tuna and pickles or gherkins. So it's like a pickle and tuna pizza. And it might not sound very good in your head, but it's really nice. If you just only have it once, maybe once a month or once every couple of months, it's really very nice. You want to see a video of how they set up their YouTube channels? Or people to get members and how to get donations, being that you're in Russia. Yeah, that's the tricky part about YouTube. I really had that idea about helping people with their YouTube channels, or doing sort of like a consultation with somebody who's got a YouTube channel already, and then talking about what to do and how to improve the channel and best practices. Yeah, I got the membership set up for this channel, and there's actually about 50 members, but I did it at the minimum membership, really as just purely as a way for people to support the channel, not for the fact that I earn money from that, or not to make an income from the memberships. I just wanted to do it as a bonus way for people who want to support the channel as a member of the channel. I should probably introduce like the $100 level, $1,000 level, and all those crazy levels that people do, but I haven't done that. So, yeah, when I was in Bali, I think I mentioned this in the last live stream, I met with a Australian guy who's a YouTuber who lives in Bali, and his name is Richard, and he has a YouTube channel about life in Bali. And we met up at his house, actually, because it was actually down the road from where I was staying. I intentionally kind of set up where we were going to stay, know where he was staying. It was basically one of the days in Bali when we were coming home. So I spent the morning with him. My wife went to the one like beauty salon for the morning. And that was the way I spent my day, and he spent his day, and she spent her day. So, yeah, but that whole, like, we chatted for about 4 hours talking about YouTube. We opened his analytics of his channel. We talked about what he could do to improve it, what to change. The thing with YouTube, right, is when you start, you've got to know what you want, short term and long term from doing YouTube. And do you want something from YouTube? Do you want something back? Do you just want to make a video because you can show something that maybe no one else could? Do you want to make, grow an audience and then make money from it and live off the income from it? And that's the hardest part. And that's what even when I was talking with Richard about, what are your kind of basic, ideas about making YouTube? Because if you're just filming and making videos, that's great. It's more enjoyable when you're not under pressure to make videos. Let's write a petition to get settled crocodiles in Javier Park's aquarium. Wow, that would be crazy. Yeah, they need that kind of thing, don't they? I mean, there's a lot of places where they've got koi ponds and fish ponds and stuff like that, and you can see fish. I think crocodiles need to be out of water as well. They can't just be swimming in the tank, and they need to come out of the water, wouldn't they? They'd have to build something separate. What type of food do I eat? I eat very normal food. My wife thinks I eat very boring food. I like meat and potatoes and chicken and pork and salad. I'm eating a lot more salads. There's a lot more opportunity to have fresh fruit and vegetables here. I bought nectarines yesterday. And there is, especially seasonally, there's a lot more opportunity for fresh fruit and vegetables here, and cheap or reasonable priced fruit and vegetables. I did actually make a video about going to my local, let me see if I can find it, although it's not ideal to put it into the chat because people can't click it while they're watching the live stream, but oh my gosh, it is showing. So the live stream is showing on the second channel, but it doesn't say anybody's watching. Obviously not. Why would I think anybody would be watching from the second channel? All right, so let me just click here for a second. Oops, that one. Where is the video where I went? Now, it didn't get a lot of views. I think because I made it too, especially I made the thumbnail too nice. And I guess people are tired of seeing like nice food in thumbnails that people misunderstood. I should have made it like a worse photograph of the food. Local food market. Russian typical local food market is what I called it. This video. So this is it's called a rynok or a food market. And this is the one at the train station. About, well, 10-15 minute walk from where we live. This is where my wife likes to do shopping to buy fruit and vegetables and get chicken, milk, things like that. So yeah, I'm a little bit boring when it comes to food. I'm not overly adventurous. Thank you, Vlad. Your smile is very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Glad to see that you're live streaming. I watched all your latest videos. Can you be my wingman for today? Please pass on a message from my wife. Oh, sure. Please pass on a message to your wife, Olga, that you love her. So you've got to say Yeti Bella Blue to her. Yeti Bella Blue, which means I love you. Or if you can't think of it, isn't it that you've got to say yellow blue bus. Yellow blue bus. Yeti Bella Blue, which means I love you. To Olga. Funny thing, my wife today is visiting. Her friend is Olga. Olya, actually, her friend is who my wife's visiting for a few days. So I can be your wingman, Scott, anytime. I guess would I be Goose if you're Maverick? Who's the Maverick and who's Goose? We have a channel now for those who might like to see running for Christ, and I would like to see how to set up for donations. There we go. Where's that one where I can click that? Let me just go to the my other screen. I've intentionally set up so many text boxes today so that I can see this donation alerts thing that I've got set up. I know it works. But I think your channel is with your first and last name, right? 1,250 subscribers. Oh, you've got videos in Russia, have you? The closing of our first chapter in Russia 2 hours ago. First thing you need to do is film everything in landscape mode. And if you're not sure what landscape is, that's portrait, that's landscape. That's the first thing you need to do, film in landscape mode. And then if you're trying to do short videos, keep it under 59 seconds and it'll become a short video. Wow, 1 second, Olga and Scott. Learning Russian. Oh wow, so you've got a little. Oh, did I not meet your husband in Moscow? By the way, you've got the subway spelt wrong. You've called it Subwave in Moscow, Russia on your channel 4 weeks ago, 4,000 views. You called it the Subwave, not the Subway. And I wouldn't worry about emojis in your title. From Texas emoji to Russia emoji. Roving bands of musicians on a suburban train in Moscow. Yeah, definitely film everything in that mode, in landscape mode. 100%. Yeah, I feel like I've either met your husband or he looks familiar from the videos. I'm not sure. How's that seem to be? Also in your about section, you can't click the Telegram link. You can't click the WhatsApp link. You can't click the link to Joseph's channel. Oh, I guess you know Joseph. There you go. I don't know him in person, but put them in the link section. They're not any good in your about section. Get rid of that because that's completely useless as well. Oh, so maybe I met your husband and your 2 children. Was it your sons? Is that who I met when I went to the tank expo or tank exhibit? I think that's where I met him. I'm just looking. It just looks familiar. That's all. Also, use your community tab. You did your last post 2 weeks ago. Post in your community tab, and then also make sure that you put every video into a playlist. Interesting. Okay. So there you go. Right on. Oh, Zanasvati. Let me just close these. I just want to have less text boxes open so my computer's not running as slow. What's going on? Live chat. Oh, Sergey. Traveling with Russell. Oh, this one right here. Sorry, everyone. It's not doing translate now. Translate to English. Oh, polite slider. Hello, Zdravstvuyte. Polite slider. Happy wife, happy life. Yes, 1000%, Eric. It's very true. Happy wife, happy life. Or in my wife's case, TV off, lights off at 9 p.m. My wife is even happier. We joked about that this morning on the phone because obviously she's spending time with her friend for a few days. And, I can have the TV on a bit later. Actually, I don't put Russian TV on. I tend to put like a movie or a TV show on a thumb drive, then put it on the TV in the other room and watch. Actually, I watched a house renovating show. I don't know what it's called, but it's about where the couples are renovating another person's house in Australia right now. I'm only on the 8th episode. I think they're about 18 episodes in. Olga, Olga, let me check. Let me ask you to say my husband, Scott, that I love him and miss him so much. Well, I guess you guys aren't together, right? So that's probably the whole thing. You're both watching the same live stream and you're both wanting to connect. You can do video calls with each other. You can do WhatsApp or Telegram calls, and you're not that far from each other then. Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Is it the same? I'm live in Moscow here. All super good. Welcome. Thank you. There you go. I'm live in Moscow also. Moscow City's high-rise apartments when they are finished. I love the initial video. Yeah, that's the only thing with that is I need people to invite me to film some videos. So that one where I made the video in that high-rise apartment, that was a channel subscriber from YouTube who actually follows me on Telegram. He's a channel subscriber on Telegram, and he invited me to come and see his place. And then while we were there, we basically asked one of the workers, to take us to one of the other levels and to see some of the unfinished apartments. And the way I am, being Australian and being very chatty and talkative, they completely are okay with it all. And yeah, forgot to tell you not to get mad at me for my comment about not shaving in my videos from Russia. Oh, no worries. Look, you see clean shaven. Actually, my shaver is right here. You get to see all the behind the scenes when you watch a live stream. Yes, I need to keep my mum and my wife both. My mum said I always look much better on videos when I've had a shave and cleaned up and look tidy. So no worries, Sergey. I completely understand. Oh, you call it subwave on purpose instead of subway. But if you call it the Moscow Metro, it would be even more. And that way people will find it in search then. People won't type Moscow subwave into a search to find your video. Russia and Moscow equals 2. Well, this is a lot of things that I can't understand here. To Rome from first Rome. Weekend 1 power was west. Okay. Vlad, I'm sorry I can't get that part. Yeah, no worries at all. Do you get stopped and asked about your residency in Russia? I've never been stopped once, Alice. Actually, I have once in 10 years. 10 years. I've been asked once for my documents. And that was, funny enough, last winter, not this winter, the one before. So I guess it'd be 2 years ago. They had some off-road Lada rally driving. There was a local place about half an hour down the road from here, probably an hour away, half an hour away, I don't know. Someone picked me up and took me there because I couldn't physically get there by any transport. And they had Lada racing around a closed track in winter. So it was basically on snow and ice. And the area where it was is actually a military base, or at least a town where military is based. And I was there pretty much all day. And then just randomly, completely randomly, a couple of guys walked up to me and just said, passport. Absolutely random. Like I was like in my jacket, hoodie, I had beanie on, gloves on. It was freezing cold that day, like proper minus 20-degree day. And I was watching the car racing. The guy I went with was one of the marshals there. So he picked me up, took me there, brought me home, had a great day, met a lot of people. And the funny thing is, it was basically the same region of where I live, which is called Narofominsk. So we were in Narofominsk, and I live in Aprelivka, which is part of the same place where we were at. And they asked me to see my documents or my passport. And they kind of looked at it and gave it straight back to me and like, okay, that was the end of the story. And it turns out that apparently somebody had spoken to the local police or whoever came up to me and said that there was a foreigner there because I was speaking English, right? And they came to make sure that I had documents to be in Russia. And that was once in 10 years. And the amount of times I'm absolutely in the metro, I'm on the trains, I'm in Red Square, yes, in Moscow, where there is, police and military presence. Never been once stopped anywhere in there. You'd think going in the metro as often as I do, that I would be stopped, but I'm not. So it's very it was completely opposite out of character. I would love to come to Belarus. I can enter there by aeroplane and it's visa free. Catholic churches standing near there, or different churches. Sounds very nice. I would love to go there. My wife, we're trying to go to Kyrgyzstan to visit our neighbor Gleb, who was living in this building. And we promised him now for 2 years that we're going to come. And this, maybe in the next 2 months or 3 months, and probably not now because it's just too hot. Once it cools down a bit, the weather, we'll go there to Kyrgyzstan. Hello, Russia, Nice. Hello. Yeah, Salamat Pagi. Pagi is morning, so I guess it's afternoon now, right? Salamat Malam. I think Salamat Malam is either afternoon or evening. Strange guy. What do I work in Russia? I make YouTube videos, exactly what you're watching. And all the previous videos are what I do. There's AdSense on videos. So if you watched an ad during a video that plays on my video, that contributes to the person that created the video on YouTube. And that's it. So yeah. Thank you so much. I can't read any more Indonesian. Does it translate that? Oh, it's 6:30 in the evening. Yes. It's 5 hours difference. It'd be probably 7:30 in the evening now. Unless you're in another part of Indonesia, not Bali. Maybe it's an hour difference. With my 2 of my 3 cents, thank you very much for your help and tips. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, right. I just remember him when I looked at your videos and I looked at there's the one, because you're not actually putting thumbnails on your videos. You're just doing the screen grabs. So you need to put thumbnails on your videos. Just take a photo of something when you're filming and use that as the thumbnail. I don't really speak a lot of Russian. I speak enough conversation or to get me by, or when I need to do something. Like when I went to talk to the shawarma guy, I asked him where he's from. He asked me where I'm from. Things like that. Constantinople before it was captured by the Turks. Oh, there you go. Moscow is called the Third Rome. So yeah, I don't speak really well Russian at all. I'm very old, so I think it's harder for me to learn Russian now than it would of maybe 20 years ago. Yeah, actually, I met your two sons before I met your husband because they were talking English. And actually, I thought they were South African because of where we were standing at the time. And then they said they were American, right? So it's just when you hear English language, you try to instantly pick up the accent. And maybe I just misheard because it was very busy at the time when I met them. Like literally, there was crowds everywhere. I think your husband had gone off to the bathroom or gone off for a walk, and the kids were kind of staying by one of the tanks, so they knew where to come back to meet him. And they were very polite and very well mannered and very well spoken, which was super nice. So yeah, I don't speak Eric. I don't speak Russian very well. But if I went out with somebody who didn't speak English, we would figure things out through the day if we had to. I have never taken the Indian Pacific. Perth to Sydney. And are we going to see you in a future video taking the Trans-Siberian train from Moscow? I would love to fly to Vladivostok and then take the train back to Moscow. That would be the trip to do, or at least one way or the other, and figure out making videos around that. My wife doesn't want to do it. So I need to find someone who would like to do it with me, because it would make sense to do it with another person that would enjoy it as well and would get the enjoyment out of that trip. Because if you go with somebody that won't like it, I mean, it's 7 days on a train, on a Russian train, let me say, not on a train, on a Russian train. Do I have any? Thank you. Do I have any tips? Trying to date everywhere attractive. Just be yourself. That's it. Simple. Just be yourself. And if they don't like you for you, then you need to find somebody else. I'd love to have a barbecue on a sunny day in Australia. That would be a very nice thing. And put the TV on, watch some sport, and have a beer, and that would be a nice day. When we went back to Australia, so we went back twice last year. We went in March and October. We have no plan to go back this year. We just went to Bali and back. We could have gone, but we didn't. They didn't ask any questions. No, I didn't. I went through the e-gates when I arrived both times, so I didn't even talk to anybody. Yeah, because we flew from Bali to Bali to Perth, and back to Bali. It didn't seem like we're coming from Russia, if that makes sense, because we were on a Perth-Bali flight. So yeah, the last two trips to Australia and back, nobody asked anything. No, not at all. Although they can ask you where you're going, what's your reason, things like that. That's all. I mean, it's just, I guess, just to get a bit of a general idea of the person's travel itinerary. But no, not at all. Eric, so we would love to have gone back now the intention was when we went to Bali was my family came to Bali and we spent a week with them, and my sister was there, my mum and dad, my auntie and uncle. There was 7 of us with my wife. So there wasn't an intention to go to Australia for that trip, was just to go to Bali and meet them in Bali. And I think mum and dad are more than happy to come to Bali and meet us there. And that way they can get a holiday and, we can kind of just enjoy the time together there. and it's an easier meeting point for both of us. Oh, David, hello. How's it going? We will go for another. Are you doing video requests? You'll have to get a little racist in here. No, we don't really do any of that sort of stuff. One soynik. No. And there we go. That's the end of. That's the end of one soynik in a real hurry. So, Slumby, am I doing video requests? I guess if it's within reason and I can make something within reason, then yes. It's obviously challenging to make videos about certain topics or go to certain places. A lot of people just think it's just easiest to get on a bus or a train and go somewhere and film something, but it's not necessarily as easy as that. So I don't. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh, hello. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a few people have been a little bit crazy. And my screen is now going crazy because of all the comments that are getting viewed and then deleted. So he can't hear you. Hello. Hello, Zach. Oh, Zachariah. Hello. How's it going? Nice to see you. It was good quite a few months ago since we met. Oh my God, one more. Oh my gosh. Actually, we do have hide user on the channel. Is that done already? Yes. Yeah, so David or Fortuna Minecraft is the moderator on the channel. So, sorted. Can you play I don't play any games on the computer. I play Airport CEO very rarely. Otherwise, I have more than enough to take up to do YouTube that it takes all of my time when I'm in front of the computer. That it's enough for me to even play games. Would you like to visit? I would love to visit Sochi, Robert. That would be very nice. If someone wants to buy me a ticket or shout me a ticket, let's call it, I would be there with bells on. And then I can go to Anapa, which is the next nearest place, and go and see the Plastic Russian, who's a British guy living down there with a channel on YouTube. Why are people being racist? I had no idea, Ice Poseidon. I have no idea. What do you think about Belarus announcing visa-free regime to all EU countries? Well, I mean, the governments and it's really down to tourism, I think. Maybe not necessarily it being any other reason. I mean, I think even like for Australians going to Bali, they're talking about scrapping the visa on arrival. We've got visa on arrival for Australians entering Bali, and they're looking at getting rid of that for Australians to enter Bali now. But it's kind of got to be a reciprocal agreement. So yeah, I mean, any country that allows people to travel in and out easier, of course, it would encourage tourism, and that's what a lot of the countries want. When we got married, how long did it take to get the residence? It, I think, I think it's four, isn't it 4 months from when you put the application in? It takes quite a long time to get the paperwork together before you even make the application. It does sound so simple to do it, but yes, from the application to getting it approved, it's about 4 months. It might be 5 months. Most of the hard work, I mean, even getting married, and then you've got to wait for the certificate, then you've got to get the certificate translated, you've got to get it apostilled. Even that bit was a bit tricky, so some things seem easier. So, how many hours a week do I spend making YouTube videos? That varies. It generally, if I go out to film, I generally go out for the day somewhere. So if I go, like where I went to when I went to the transport expo, transport rally, I went there 10, 11 in the morning. I was home by about 5 p.m. And that wasn't that, I mean, you gotta remember, I don't drive anywhere. So I walk to a bus stop, I catch a bus, I then catch the metro somewhere or 2 metros. I'm going to walk to the place to where I film, and then maybe a couple of hours walking around. I mean, that transport one, I was there for about 3 hours walking around. It's really hard to judge how many hours a week you put into it, because even answering comments on videos, I could probably spend, I'd like to just do about an hour per day answering comments. Sometimes it's a few hours a day doing that alone. No, I should go to a Russian buffet and review some of the food. That's the hardest one to do, is doing food reviews, because I don't want to be really negative about places. And most places I enjoy the food. Well, I do like the food. So, well, this is going a little bit crazy. Thank you, David, for taking care of all these people posting all sorts of things. How do they log into so many channels to do this? Yeah, so Russian buffet would be cool. I just need to go to one that's easy to film at. I was thinking about just doing like the shawarmas and the street food, and do a street food video. And how long does editing? Editing's a lot quicker because I do it all on my phone. So that's the one good thing. The only thing is now is I film with one camera with this DJI now that I have, and then I copy it to my computer, then copy it back to my phone. I still edit on my phone the videos, which is what I was doing when I was filming with my phone. So yeah, it's just a matter of listening through. I tend to not film a lot of willy-nilly things that I know I won't put in the video. So I tend to be a bit more selective now with what I film, if that makes sense. So I don't film everything and then delete out stuff later, which is making it easier. What's my opinion on what happened with Mr. Trump? Was it I talked about this in the last live stream. Someone asked about the Slovakian prime minister. I mean, I guess he's just so polarizing, and I say this a lot. And when I was working on cruise ships in America, he was in office at the time as well. So, it's politics. I mean, it's never being from Australia. We've never really had politics as something high on our agenda of what happens on a day-to-day basis living in Australia. Yeah, I've got let me see if I can just change that. I guess then they'll all unsubscribe, won't they, if they do that? 5 minutes. Does that make any difference? Thank you, Robert. I've changed it. Yeah, it would be great to compare shawarma and kebab. Yeah, I guess you can get kebabs here, but then you've got to go to normally like a Greek or a Turkish place to have kebabs. Shawarma's using a thinner wrap. Eric, I'm using an app on my phone called, the one I was using was called KineMaster. KineMaster. Where is my YouTube things? Here. You can see how many fingerprints are on my phone. KineMaster is the one that I was using when I was filming with my phone and then editing with my phone. But now, because I'm using DJI, I'm using one called Lightcut, which is the one I edit with now. But KineMaster is the one that you can use. You can film with your phone and edit right away on that app. It's very simple. And to make thumbnails, you can use Canva. And then Snapseed's another one as well, but I use Canva to make thumbnails. So I could literally do everything, probably barring the first video I made with the new camera was when I went to the football in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. And then all the videos after that have been with the DJI. So will I be doing another miniature house video? I don't have any plans to do one, David. I filmed only 2 at that house expo thing that I went to. I need to speak to Yuri and see if maybe he has an idea of somewhere that we could go to film something, because he does that as a job, house remodeling and developing or apartment developing. So he'd be the person I need to go and ask more. How expensive are flats in Australia? They're in Perth. They're not cheap. You're looking anywhere 15 million rubles and up for something. There would be nothing. I'd be very generous to say there's nothing cheaper than 15 million rubles. I rarely drink beer. Strange. I went to a friend's birthday last weekend, and I didn't even drink beer. I drank cola, and they were drinking beer. They were drinking. He asked me to bring beer, and I brought Budweiser, the Russian-made Budweiser, because my wife called me because I was on the way over, and she said, "Can you bring more beer? They're running out of beer." And where our friends live, it's in a bit of a dacha community, so a housing community. And they were already all drinking, so no one was going to drive. So I went and got basically carry a bag of beer for them, and I drank cola. How the heck can you compare kebabs and shawarmas? I guess if you've had both, just the way they're made, or the way the wrap is, or the way the ingredients are. Fox flies from Fox flies. Hello in Australia. You will, Robert, you'll find the occasional Indian restaurant. If you go to a food court, there might be one Indian place in the food court at the shopping centres. There isn't that many, though. In my local one, there is definitely one there, because it's next to the Thai place at Salareva, where I've made videos before. Euros. Kebab or euros, right. Yes, that's definitely the Australia thing. Time to make some Siberian videos. I'm in Moscow. It's 3,000 kilometers to go to Siberia, 2,000 kilometers. Welcome. Thanks for the Moscow content. You're very welcome. Right, roster is huge. you won't hear people speaking English unless it's tourists. I mean, I can guarantee anywhere place I've been to, even in these last couple of videos, you wouldn't hear a second. I think maybe walking around Patriarchal Ponds, I think I heard English maybe twice. Literally, as I'm listening to people walking by me, I can definitely hear someone speak English who's not speaking Russian. But it would be very rare. I mean, people can speak English, but don't, obviously, right? I mean, if you're in Russia, you can speak Russian. Crazy prices for a very small property. Sydney is not. Yeah, number 2 most expensive city in the world, right? Yeah, even Perth would be still considerably cheaper than Sydney, and Perth is still expensive. Yeah, that's the scary part about thinking about going back to Australia, is the costs of things, or the cost of living compared to the cost of living here in Russia. That's a big X factor. Babuati or Sasuatis? Pierre Venter. But I'm sure I've had Babuatis when I was there with a B at the beginning, maybe, unless it was a Sasuati and I got it mixed up. I've been twice in South Africa, so I was once in Port Elizabeth, or PE, and then the second time I was in Nelspruit. Beautiful places. Australian cricket or football, you can't choose, because one is a summer sport and one is a winter sport. So there's definitely a difference, because for the winter season, you follow football, and then summer season, you follow cricket, or whatever the current sport is at the time. So definitely you can't compare these two sports at all. It's like now with the Olympics, right? Everybody's following the Olympics magically before the Olympics starts and for the month of the Olympics. And when it's finished, that's it for 4 years. You don't really watch anything about it. Or even when an Australian athlete will win a medal now, most of the time we won't even know who they were until they won that medal, because they may be a champion in that different sport, but they just are not a everyday Australian name of a person. So, okay, everybody, I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream. Work will send us broke. Raisins, right. I remember we did on the Poiki pot, we did Babuati. I remember now. This Babuati, yes. Had raisins in it. I think it even had peas in it, carrots. It was like a bit of a mince, like a mince kind of a dish. You went to high school in Port Elizabeth. Wow. Yeah, so I met a friend on cruise ships, and she invited me to Port Elizabeth. She was living in I'm not sure where her relatives are from. I'm sure it's not PE. It was somewhere else. But they were all living there at the time. And then in Nelspruit, the second time they moved to Nelspruit. She was living at like a small resort on the coast, just away from the Port Elizabeth town, and she was like the event coordinator there, and they had rendezvous. And we went and met up with her, I guess her ex-boyfriend that they're very good friends with. I'm friends with on Facebook now. We went out to the markets. He was a cabbage trader at a wholesale or a fruit and veg market in Port Elizabeth. That was crazy. We went to these vegetable markets a couple of times, and he was trading cabbage heads or whole cabbages. That's all he did. Yes. Deervolt, his name was Deervolt. Very nice guy, amazing guy. What app am I using for my live stream? I'm using StreamYard. Is the one I'm using, StreamYard, because I can put these little comments on the screen. The only thing with StreamYard is it streams only in 1080p, and the actual camera is 4K. So it's actually streaming in a lower quality than it could be if I was to actually not use StreamYard and go straight through YouTube. I'd actually get a better picture quality. Raul, I would love to come to St. Petersburg. I just got, someone told me that they've opened a new IKEA-style store there, and I should come there to see that IKEA-type store. And then another friend has asked me to come and see a new shopping center that opened. So to come and see the metro as well would be another thing to do. I watched the Euros on not on Oko streaming service. I watched it on my computer, so I just basically turned a VPN on and then opened a website that I can watch live sport on. So I'll be able to watch the golf now, the British Open golf. I watched the darts last night. Yeah, I only watched a few of the Euros matches because we were in Bali the whole trip. And in Bali, the match times were midnight and 3 a.m. So I didn't even watch the end of the final, which was bad. I fell asleep. This isn't the usual time for a live stream, Eric. I normally do them at 8, 9, 10 p.m. Moscow time. But because my wife's not home, I can do something during the day. And then she doesn't really like me doing them at 9 or 10 p.m. because she likes to go to sleep. So I'm just using the opposite time of that. And also this works better with a lot of people that are more local. Little black duck needs some beauty sleep. Yes. Now 50 million rubles. Wow. Yeah, 800,000. That would be about right. I mean, I guess that's average price for a unit. So for an apartment or flat or unit. Perth might be a little bit less than that, but yeah, I guess I'm being very generous at 50 million rubles. Hello. Yes, just for just for maybe a 2-bedroom. Okay, so in Russia they call them 1 or 2 room places, whereas in Australia you'd have a bedroom, a lounge room, kitchen. So like this, for instance, place where we are here is actually 1 room, but technically it's 2 rooms. So a 2-room place would be 1 bedroom. So a 3-room place would be in Moscow. Yeah, in this entire town where I live, the apartment on the 14th level in this building actually has a 2nd floor. So it's 100, I think it's about 107 square meters. And that's 18 million rubles. So I was in Bali when the Australia-Wales match was on last Saturday. Was that right? Yes, it was like previous Saturday. And we were actually watching Australian football. I went to a sports bar, and I think Australia-Wales was on another TV while we were watching the Australian rules football. So those are heading this way. Right. Yeah, the average house price, that's for a unit. The average house price, like a traditional house, would be $1 million Australian dollars. So it'll be 61 million rubles, thereabouts. Hello, Martin Turbo. Hello. Yeah, I don't use this Oko streaming service. I know what you mean totally, but I can watch all of the sport. Pretty much any sport physically is on one website that I watch via a VPN. Chut Poruski, Yeti Pinyamaya, Malinki Poruski. So that's Moscow region, VR, not Moscow. So we're 50 kilometers from Moscow. It's on the 14th level. which is the highest building in the town. I'm on level 9, by the way. So the apartment is on the 14th level, and then there's actually steps going up to the 15th level. And then it's got floor-to-ceiling windows looking over the whole town. 100 square meters. It's basically, well, 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen. Very big place for 18 million. 18 million is not expensive for Moscow. I don't know where you live, VR, but 18 million is not a lot if you are going closer to Moscow. Once you go inside the garden ring in Moscow, you see very little homelessness. There is a lot of government help to people who don't have somewhere to live. Obviously, with the winters in Russia, it's near impossible to live in Russia in winter, without a house or a home or somewhere to go to. So there will be very, very little. Of course, yes, on the outskirts of St. Petersburg, but you could in Moscow region as well. Yeah, 70. Oh, they got 70 million rubles, the average house price in Australia. Yeah, I think in Perth it would be. I know my mum and dad's neighbor sold for 550,000. 3-bedroom cottage lot. It's like next door, but 1 or 2 from my parents. 550,000 for cottage lot house, like 3-bedroom place. It's crazy. It's my mum and dad are in shock by the prices or how much the house prices have gone up. Yeah, correct. 18 million is not a lot in Moscow region or in terms of this apartments in the immediate area where I live. It's the highest priced one in all the buildings, but the physical space mean 100 plus square meter apartment is very big. It's really big. Dominator, hello. Okay, everybody. I think I'm gonna go. I'm a little bit hungry. I'm a little bit thirsty. I need to go figure out what's going to be for dinner later. It's only 3 p.m. I know, but if you do want to join me on Telegram, let me just click a few things here. People seem to like the lunchtime live. There's not as many people watching though. I guess that's one thing. So Heike, thank you. Raul, thank you. Raul again. Cody, so you're not going to get a house in Moscow City. Moscow City is where the skyscrapers are. That's called Moscow City. Moscow inside the garden ring or the third ring or even inside the Makad. So if you see the circles around Moscow, there'd be very few houses. 3-bedroom house, you'd be looking at somewhere 80. Well, if it's a house, holy dooly. You can look up a website called avito.ru. Avito.ru. Can I type that there? Yes. Or cn.ru. Let's do the dots. You understand it's one less dot. Either of those. Pierre Venter, thank you, Boki. My Boki. Thank you so much. If I do so, I hope everything has a great morning. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, apparently my internet's not working great, but I think it's working perfectly fine. They told me here in Russia that they're meant to be slowing down YouTube and the internet and everything, but I don't see any effects of that. Occasionally, I think because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things open on my computer, it's just lagging because of that. I was also at the. Oh, you're at the tram parade. Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't really watch any Russian TV to know about the Russian TV, about what works. I know my wife watches Evie. think that's the movie one that she uses. I know there is a Dynamo match on the 20th, a couple of days from now. I think it's like the last warm-up matches before the start of the Russian football season. Well, Eric, thank you so much. Yes, the next video on the channel will be this tram parade on Chistipudi. That's where I was on the weekend as well. Savvy, I'm about to end the live stream now. Normally my live streams are 2 hours or less. So normally it goes for right on 2 hours. So actually we're pretty much ending at the right time. So, oh, somebody's found my channel. Oh no, it's posting over there as well. So it posts to both. Oh, look at that, Dominator. How did somebody find me? Hello, someone's found my second channel. How cool is that? Dominator. I think you said hello somewhere, but I can't see which channel that's from until I just noticed it over here. There you go, Russell in Russia. Oh, it even tells you, so you can put both channels chat in the same chat. That's kind of cool. I'm learning something new today. Thank you, everybody. Okay, all right. So if you want to join the Telegram channel or the chat, David there has put the link to the Telegram chat. If you don't know what Telegram is at all, it's an app you can download. It's similar to WhatsApp. So think of it as that. It's very straightforward to use. And you can join that chat and everything's frozen. Now I talk about it. That's a bit hectic. So yeah, thanks everybody. I hope you've had a good day. Definitely watch some older videos if you've not caught up with some of the videos. I did a few in Bali. Now I've done 3 or 4 videos in Moscow since I've been back. 5 videos. So slowly the channel is now back, going from down to up. So the Bali videos are designed for people to watch something searchable. So where people might search for the certain hotel where I did the review from. That's the point of those videos. The same with the shopping center and supermarket videos. Okay. Oh, there you go. So all. Okay, so if I post here, it posts to both posts. So yeah, the tram parade was this past Saturday on the 13th. That was on the 13th is when I filmed that tram parade. So unless there's not anything else I know of that's new. Yeah, so registered Novokuznetskaya to Chistipudi, right, correct. But I just saw it when it was at Chistipudi. I didn't see them leaving because I was already tired and exhausted and hot and sweaty by the time I finished filming. And despite a line for free ice cream, free water, free food, I was just a bit emotionally tired and hot by then. So I didn't stay later to watch the trams leave, which a lot of people do. They watch them leave and film them driving off. Whoa, okay, my chair's fallen down. Let me just put that back up before I sign off. Thanks everybody for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Thank you to Brian who did a super sticker. If anyone does happen to want to help support the channel on any video you're watching, you can do a super thanks. There should be a $sign by the comment area of any video. You're more than welcome. If you want to join the membership, you can do that as well. And then if you want to join us on the Telegram chat, there's about 1,000 people in that chat, by the way. And then pretty much day and night, there'll be somebody talking about something. And people post photos and people post, I know David posts photos of his house where he's growing tomatoes right now in Italy. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice to fly to Italy and meet up with David? Wow. Okay. Uh, keep watching videos. Wait up for a new video coming on the channel. If you want to do something interesting, open the video box on my channel and search by oldest. I think it's oldest, not newest, oldest, and watch one of the old videos on the channel. Robert, thank you so much. Susan, thank you as well. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. You can do hearts. Let me just see if I can do the hearts. Can you guys see those? And fireworks. And I don't know where the hundreds are, but you can do hundreds as well. Can somebody see those? Maybe they're just mine. Oh, there you go. Someone's doing hearts back. Thank you. Whoever's clicking those. They work. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to relax, contemplate the next video to make. And I'll be on Telegram when the live stream ends. And that's about it. Okay, end of stream. Bye, everybody. Bye.